Damn, I wish we could have the sound without the music on. Either way, not too big of a deal. Okay, so right here, you take this first. I'm gonna mute the sound actually. I can't deal with that. You take that first cue. What you should be doing right now is posturing up here over on this left side and trying to get level 2 same time he's getting level 2. So he's not punishing you. He should have punished you the whole time he was level 2 and you were level 1. Okay, but your next mistake is telegraphing where you're going to CS from. You always want it to be a mystery, so you should like walk back and forth for no reason kind of. And let's say let's say he throws a skill shot from over this direction and you're standing right here. If you're already pathing this way, it's easier to dodge the skill shot. So uh, that also sets you up for completely changing direction. Like if you want to stop, all of a sudden you can hit S on the keyboard, or you can just click this way, and then that's probably the easiest way to dodge, is being unpredictable when you're walking. So you walked into the rest of that damage right there, basically. That was the thing I wanted to point out the most. You should have just thrown an auto on that CS. And then autoed it again. Oh, I guess you got it. No, okay, you did miss it. So you know he's going for the CS. Don't stand next to the CS. That's what you have to work on against Ari. So if you let him push you in and you take damage and let him CS, then that's like setting yourself up for failure, basically. Okay. Hopefully, hopefully this won't be too loud on the recording. I got it set pretty low. I'm just gonna mute it anyway, just so that doesn't happen. And for a good portion of this, I might pause and then take a look at the scoreboard for a second, or check the mini-map positioning. Since we can't move the mini-map around, this isn't a spectator. It'd be a little bit easier for me to do the review if you just hit record on your op.gg, but this is fine too. I'll deal with it. Okay, so look at your health bar compared to his health bar. This is where you want to be a little bit aggressive and use your level 3. Good shots on him, but after you nail that, keep the pressure on him, walk up to him, auto him, and hit Q. You're not throwing enough auto attacks out. You're very capable of winning this lane. So you should have played like this at level 1 and 2, but then play more aggressively once you have a calculated advantage. But like, you could maybe figure out who the enemy jungler is. So we can see a Mumu, but obviously you didn't know where he was in this game. So what you do is you just ward up one side, whether it be the left or the right side, and you just cheat towards that side. When you go ward, make sure you go around and then drop the ward through the wall. Same thing with this wall over here. Okay. Gonna play this in 1.25 speed for a little bit. Okay, so I noticed that you lasered to CS there. So if you look at your health bar again, you also know you're against an Amumu, so that means he's not going to be that great of a ganker early. Like, yeah, he can stun you, but they would have to combo CC you and probably use Ari's ignite in order to kill you from full health. So knowing all of this, you should be controlling this area right here instead of playing like you have half HP. Like if you had half HP, then this positioning is correct. Since you have health bar advantage, you should just you even got potions left over, so you should just be trying to make him use the rest of his consumables. You're getting good poke down. I would like to see you with a CS lead actually. Of course, if you're a passive kind of player, then I'm okay with not giving up early kills and giving up that risk. Mm, your flash is up here. It would have been impressive if you knew to flash this RE charm that's gonna come out of the bush. Like you can predict that actually. I can see where your information is. You don't necessarily know where he's at. So you're disabled, and at this point, if you did miss your laser, they probably would have killed you. But your Yi would have killed Amumu. Yeah, I don't know. You guys probably had that either way. It probably didn't make a difference, but I always champion the use of aggressive summoners. But, if it's not needed, then it's not needed. Sometimes it's better to hold on to it and just be safe. Like, for instance, if you scale better than they do. Every game's different, though. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say either or one of your teams has a better late game. It kind of just depends on how things play out. I would have liked to see you push the lane here. You took way too long to get the wave up, and you're gonna back now. Yeah, you could have gotten that into tower. Not a huge deal. Items are fine. We're gonna skip ahead. I'll try and cut out time when I can, just because we don't need to watch you walk back to base, unless we're paying attention to the rest of the map. Wow, the mini map is like completely bugged on this replay. It looks trippy. So Yi dies. You should have went top and defended the tower. You're Victor. As soon as they died, you should have just walked up there and cleared the wave. Ooh. Ooh, I do see this though. So, in higher elo, that guy probably walks around through his jungle, so you probably wouldn't get this opportunity. But I do like that you set up a pick on this guy. It looks like it worked out for you. So, just word to the wise that he's going to show up coming from his own jungle more than likely. I liked how you didn't show on the map though. I didn't see you use gravity field either though. Like, if you can predict where he's gonna be, just drop it as he's gonna walk into the bush. Easy. And a lot of times they won't flash in time, they'll get caught by the actual stun from your gravity field and then they'll flash, but it still gets stunned. Uh yeah, I suppose you didn't really have any reason to back after that kill, so now you're just like trying to farm up. And he's just kind of shoving you in, so all you can really do here is farm and ward up uh, side bush, or you can throw a ward down right in the middle of the lane. The purpose of the lane ward is so you can see what direction Ari goes every time he's done CSing, so you always keep tabs on him that way. Nothing's ever a surprise. If they go bottom, then like you can follow him, or you can ping it out and follow him. But more importantly, if he sees you reacting to his roam, then he's probably just going to turn right around and go back to lane. So okay, they have 2 kills on support Lux. They have a Kali top. Vayne CS is super low. The enemy Jinx is like a huge deal. Yeah, and he's getting fed, so. Your Vayne went Berserker's Greaves first. That's a mistake. Okay, so that was alright just for like running away. Let me watch this again. So the Ari charm basically stopped you from going forward, so I get that. Maybe you can predict that and like try and sidestep, be a little bit more preemptive on that stuff. Uh, okay, so you should expect him to go aggressive. It's Shen, so he's gonna be pretty tanky. He taunts, and you're all the way over here. If you keep autoing him, auto in between spells, all of a sudden his health bar is like closer to half of what it is. Okay, so I did see auto there. And I can understand why you're not doing it here because you want to get away from everyone else. Except maybe that he's pretty so didn't play that terribly. I want to say with your bot lane being so far behind, you should be warding over here near their blue, trying to make plays in the jungle and trying to, well, not necessarily making plays on the jungle. You want to be able to get picks in their jungle and try and gank bottom. Because like if you 5v5 fight them in the jungle when they have a huge lead, then you're just gonna lose. But you can still go for picks, and information is really king when you're behind. But yeah, let's say you guys were getting a lead, then you can just have like a different kind of vision and be more proactively looking for picks as opposed to just locking down one area. Man, this minimap bug is really, really killing me on this replay. I actually rely on it a lot, so you don't buy any wards, like at all. As soon as you hit level 9, you should definitely be upgrading that trinket too. Greater Stealth Totem is really good, and I want to say the Pink Totem won't be as good next season. Are you DC'd? What was that? Why did it take you so long? Why did that take you so long? I almost would be like auto attacking the guy out of the brush from here. Like as soon as he's this far in, throw gravity field down right here. Laser this way. Throw down your Q, and then wait for a cluster, throw down your ult, and then E them again, and they're dead. Like W should have been cast right here. So you almost one-shot Ari. He got out because you didn't take the time to combo him. If you threw your Q on him, he'd die. Or maybe you did throw your Q on him. Let me see it again. With you having being the only person with kills, basically, you absolutely have to carry these skirmishes. You got 3 levels on this Amumu. Maybe you were alt tabbed or something. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay, so you did Q him. I didn't see the shield. Yeah, see, he just barely gets away. That's just unlucky. And yeah, you don't cast your W enough. When you're walking around, it just kind of seems like random. Hmm, that's a bad channel, but it would have been much better if he had it up for the next fight. So that's not really your fault. That's just like your team being behind and you doing almost enough damage to kill everyone. So your main focus should be on lowering everyone for Yi. And Vayne can probably peel for herself, so you don't really like peel for her at all in these team fights. You should just focus on Yi's targets and helping him get resets. Another thing you guys could do is have him split push. And not being able to see these skirmishes in the side lanes or whatever, uh, super annoying. But we'll deal with this directed camera bullshit. You're positioning too far away from the action. You need to be in a range in order to get damage off. You need to be within like 400 range of a Mumu at all times in order to do damage, consistent damage to him. So, as soon as you dodge the Amumu ult, just go back up this way. Just start walking up this way and cast your laser into that general direction. Instead of casting it where you did. Because it would have zoned Jinx out from doing damage a little bit more. Or it would have chunked him. So Yi pretty much carried this fight. Oh damn, you got super low. Oh, Vayne saved you, that was nice. Okay. Not bad. The mistake was obviously getting caught out by Mumu in the first place, but you turned around and dealt the damage. Oh damn. You do so much damage, but you didn't focus Akali first. Okay, so right here, Chaos Storm. Throw your ult. Throw your ult right here. Anyone that gets on top of you, throw your ult on it or walk into your ult. Use that shit early. Kite back into your team and use Q. Get your health back up. Stay away from their team a little bit if you can. You guys could have burst down that Akali if you focused. You kind of haphazardly walk into this. Throw your Chaos Storm right here. Hit the AoE. Get them all. If you hit them all right here, then they're all pretty much dead. Instead, in that 2 seconds, see the positioning difference? Because you're not going for these kills, Kali singles you out, and you don't have Shen or Yi to help you kill her. Because as soon as she's focusing you and within their range, they can hit her. So because you're not up here or over here, he singles you out and like takes half your health. Then your Chaos Storm or your Gravity Field is basically worthless. You could have thrown Gravity Field over here and focused out Akali first with Shen and Yi. So Akali basically 100 to 0'd you. And see what just a few hits from Yi did. So you want to play off of your other carries. Good turret. I can't imagine what their team must be doing in order for you guys to be able to get the free top turret without them taking anything. Probably just being disorganized, but this to be expected, I suppose. I don't really know what you're doing top, but sticking with your team's not necessarily a bad idea. The gold is fairly even, except their jinx is a huge problem. That's who you need to be focusing on in these fights. Focus on Akali, Jinx, Lux, and Ari. Don't even mess with the Mumu. The problem with killing a Mumu first is it'll take you too many spell rotations in order to significantly reduce his health. And if you kill all the carry threats first, then he dies for free basically. There won't be a point in time where he's strong enough to be able to carry unless he got like ridiculously fed. So unless he gets ridiculously fed or goes full AP build, you can ignore focusing him down. If you catch yourself focusing the tank and the carry presents themselves, switch targets. You just need to be farming. You're not farming enough. Why aren't you taking jungle camps? Like, I don't understand. You stood and walked around in mid for like 30 seconds. And now you're only going for blue. So, like, you could have taken wolves and wraiths and had your blue buff by now. Instead, you walked around, warded the blue. When you could just ward up here and get the information anyway. So, like, if you just warded above this area over here, then that makes the other blue ward completely unnecessary. And you wasted a lot of time walking through there. Like, if you're gonna go through the jungle, take some jungle camps on your way through. Or if you have downtime in lane, go straight to jungle camp. Inflate those CS numbers, snowball your advantage. You need to get those 4 items completed, etc. Okay, so I'm assuming your team's starting to get caught out now, which would be fine if you were farming up the whole time that they were lollygagging around, but you guys are like starting to fall behind at this point. Too many sloppy fights, and like honestly the Akali like really carried this game in damage. So since it's Akali versus Shen, you just want Shen to always be relevant split pushing. So what you do is you just go opposite of the lane of Shen and you put a bunch of pressure on bottom lane or something. So since it's Shen versus Akali top, you should have just made it so he's always got teleport advantage. If she's ever split pushing up to the tower, then unless she can solo kill him and dive the tower, she's not going to be a tower threat. So you just sit around objectives, use your gravity field to zone large amounts of jungle. The entrances are going to be smaller, so when you're channeled into a small area against Viktor, he does the most damage. So yeah, you didn't play to your win conditions here. And seeing as you were ahead, you should have been putting more money into wards. I didn't see you buy any wards in this game. Also, for your items, just looking at their team comp, they have a lot of magic damage. You should have went Abyssal. Abyssal, not Death Cap. And is that Lichbane? That's a super late game item. Don't ever get Lichbane unless it's good on your champion. Don't ever get Lichbane until full items unless it's just super good on your champion like Fizz. He's always going to get Lichbane. But Viktor is, yeah, he doesn't need it. So you should have got like Morellos and Abyssal or Zanya, something like that. The death cap. Okay, let's say you had a bunch of CC and you knew you would get your damage off. You could justify spending that much money on death cap, but since you don't have a bunch of AoE CC, it's just Morgana basically. You should have went Zanya's, and I promise you that it's similar damage, and it'll be absolutely 100% better for the team fight. So if I'm looking at your items, you basically have 2,000 gold wasted here. You could have completed Zanya's already, and you could have most of your Abyssal, if not finish it. No, 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 no. You got your other upgrade item. So no, you would have a piece of your Abyssal, my bad. And probably enough for the Negatron. But yeah, it's really hard when the enemy support is AP and they also get fed. You have no one on your team that's gonna build Aegis. This is the time to focus on Mumu. Why? What? What is this? You're playing way too safe. Way too safe. Auto him and Q him. You should be standing in the bush over here. At least in as close as Vayne is standing. Unless you're an assassin, don't bother hiding your position. You're a control mage. You want your position to be known. So I assume that you were expecting the Amumu ult and you didn't want to group up, so that part was good. Gravity field was alright. And that Lux ult is just killer, so maybe here I would just get home guards and hope to skirmish with them over and over again, and then eventually trade my trips to base for their majority of their health bars, and then you can catch them in an off position and go Baron or something. But looks like you're just wandering around on half health, so continuing to wave clear is fine, but you guys should have just went straight up to Baron here, more than likely. And I'm not saying that because I have the advanced knowledge of whatever they're doing. I'm saying that because that would be the right call. Even if they come, then you can get a pick on that person really quick. And you can probably finish the Baron before they can get there. And I say that all of that without looking at the mini map because based on the information that you had for what they had just done, where the health bars were, there was going to be no major threat on that side, especially once they went off towards Dragon. But yeah, you guys aren't like super far behind. Getting this turret is important. He made a mistake there, and I think he overdove that. Still doesn't have his Devourer. That's pretty bad. Still doesn't have his Sated. I mean, So ye should have been farming more this game. You really want sated to be completed by like 25 minutes at the latest, probably. So you guys blew them up here. Why didn't you go Baron here? Just right there. Turn around and go Baron. Okay, getting this tower would be okay. Now you guys lost a bunch of HP though, so I'm guessing that a couple of you are gonna die by being greedy. No, okay, so you guys backed, and now Yi wants to do Baron. Yeah, you guys just completed items that last fight, so could have shred the shit out of that Baron. Finishing off that tower, if you're not gonna guaranteed kill the inhibitor, it wasn't really worth it. Plus, you give up the pressure of them getting the next control over Dragon or next Baron, maybe. But, I mean, judging on this ELO, I would say that's not as big of a problem because people are afraid to do Baron most of the time. I mean, maybe even that's bad advice to say you guys could have done Baron there because uh, your team won't react properly and it might not actually be the right call for this ELO. Maybe like going for picks in that general area and just pretending like you're gonna do Baron would have been the right call. But like I said, it really depends on what ELO you're playing in, and this is all like theoretical advice. Obviously, like you're going to have to apply uh, just as much as you're not going to learn anything. You're going to learn by process of elimination. So they're setting up the death push here. You do a lot of damage, but then a Moo basically soloed you. Uh, if you had Zanyas, you would have been able to survive that. So you finished Lichbane. Yeah, that build is really bad. If you had Zanyas and Abyssal, it'd be a completely different ball game. This game is still like sort of back and forth. You're not like at a huge gold deficit, so superior team play and vision here would win you the game. Like after getting that pick, you see the Ari's on bottom, so I'm assuming you guys are gonna do Baron. I want to see where the mistake is though. Oh, I wonder if Lux steals this. That would be sick. Oh damn, nice one shot. Oh, Jinx stole it. Wow, that is unfortunate. Whoa, 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 okay. So your guys went mid after getting Baron without everyone else and got caught out. So maybe your mistake here was to back and not go with your team. Because like you either had to communicate it to them or you had to know that they're stupid and they're not gonna listen and just go with them anyways. Like whatever item you had to buy, like you didn't even buy anything, so you didn't even need to go back to base really, except obviously to get health. So are you DC'd here? What the fuck? Did you just give up typing or something? Okay, so rest of your team sort of dying. Doing nothing for that 30 seconds is probably okay because you're waiting for them to do something. Losing that Baron was huge. Oh man, that jinx though. So your mistake there was going up to that tower. You had to give up the tower and wait for everyone to group up again. Now they're just catching you one after one. So this all started from Morg and Vayne getting caught out in mid and dying. So one person has been dead before you guys have been able to group like the entire time since then. Losing the Baron in itself didn't lose you the game. It was the way you guys played after that because it was pretty even regardless of kill score. Yeah, and Yi would have been able to put up some DPS, especially maybe to kill Jinx. Even if you went like distortion boots and Zanyas and just flash in and chunk Jinx out every single fight, you would have had a better shot to win this game because Yi can go in and Shen can ult on top of Yi. Now you have an unkillable killing machine. So you got to coordinate with your team on this stuff. Nice kill on Jinx there, but obviously not enough because now Akali's going off. Mm-hmm. And they finished the game out. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. There were some pretty obvious mistakes, but in general, just work on victory. Yeah, not for you. Just work on your positioning most of all in fights. You want to position a little bit more aggressive. Try and be so aggressive that you actually start feeding in some games, and then you'll know where to scale it back from because it's infinitely harder to scale up passivity than it is to scale back aggression. So push your limits and be aggressive. Go for the CS. Be greedy. That's pretty much all I have. So thanks for submitting the replay.